I'm Brooke Grimsley. After nearly 2 weeks off, the Blues finally returning to action last night, facing the Coyotes at Enterprise Center. During the break, the Blues saying goodbye to another member of that 2019 Stanley Cup Championship team, Vladimir Tarasenko, which traded to the Rangers. And in that trade, they got back a player from that Cup team in Sammy Blais. Blais was able to really celebrate his return to St. Louis last night at Enterprise Center. After Arizona took an early 2-0 lead, the Blues finally came alive in the second period. Brandon Saad got the scoring started for the Blues, and then in his first game back as a Blues, Sammy Blais came out of the box and scored to tie the game up. His first goal since 2021. Calle Rosen putting on a show, scoring twice in the third to give the Blues a 5-2 lead, but the game really slipped away with the Coyotes firing back, tying the game up 5-5. In overtime, though, it was the Blues. In his first game back since December 31st, the captain, Ryan O'Reilly, put this one away, scoring the game winner in OT. The Blues hold on, winning 6-5 in OT, snapping their 5-game losing streak that happened right before the All-Star break.
It's 5-2. We want to be able to close it out, but you know what? We're not at our sharpest right now coming off the break. Again, the big thing is we won the game. That's the most important thing. And again, we got to keep building the things to clean up for sure. We got to help out Binner a bit more, especially at the end there. Just not giving up any goals like that. But again, something to build off of, and hopefully some momentum.
Yeah, it felt really good. I mean, my first goal of this season, obviously. So coming back to St. Louis and scoring in my first game, I couldn't have asked for better than that.
And also your first goal since 2021 too, right? So how did that feel for you?
Yeah, it felt like, can't even describe it. Like it was just nice pass by Letty, and just happy I got this one out of the way, and now I just keep moving forward.
We're here at Enterprise Center after nearly 2 weeks off, the Blues returning to action against the Coyotes. Curbs is a little bit too close for comfort there at the end there, but still, the Blues come away with a win, 6-5, the final in overtime. What did you see from the game tonight?
You know what, when you have 12 days off, and these pro athletes, that's a lot of time off. And even though some of them skated on their own, it's going to take some time to knock the rust off. But for some others, like Ryan O'Reilly, he hadn't played since December 31st. He had sat the last 14 games with that foot injury. Pavel Buchnevich had been out for a little while going into that break. So, and Robert Thomas too. Like there was just, it was a little bit more than just getting back at it. The Coyotes had played a game already. They played the night before against the Chicago Blackhawks, so they had a little mojo, a little rhythm going. And I thought the first period was not very unexpected. The second period, much better. They tied it up. Third period just got weird. Score. I mean, I don't see too many teams go 3 unanswered, followed by 3 unanswered. But, man, you win games because of people like Ryan O'Reilly. He was 69% on faceoffs. He won the key draws. He scores the game-winning goal. You had Braden Shen that had 7 shot attempts in the game. He had a couple of blocks. He had some takeaways. I think he was at 63% on faceoffs. And your veteran guys took this game under control tonight.
Well, and also another guy that stood out tonight would be Calle Rosen. Yeah. He was on Hattie Watch. He was fantastic. And I asked him tonight, too, especially before the All-Star break, he was kind of in and out of the lineup, healthy scratch at time. But it looks like he really wants to secure his spot in the lineup now. What did you see from him in this game? And he really was huge for the Blues.
Sometimes you just need a chance. And for a guy like Calle, he's been getting it. And every time he's in, he's taking advantage of it. He seems like he's got a little bit of that Carl Gunnarsson Swedish sense for the net from the blue line. Looks like he's got a shot that might be as hard as Boom Boom had it there for us. So it's been good to see him do it. And I talked to him a little bit earlier, maybe about a month and a half ago, just about the adjustment and getting in. And I said, hey, when did you feel like, okay, I'm here. I can play against anybody in the NHL. And he said it was the beginning of this year. Making this team, knowing that he was here, wasn't going back down. He goes, and he looked, and it was a great line. He said, if I can play against these guys in practice, I can play against anybody in a game. And it's been great. So when he gets in there, it's taking advantage of the opportunity. And he is, he's been a really steady guy back there for the Blues this year.
Also, we have to talk about Sammy Blais, his return with the Blues, and he scores tonight against the Coyotes. His first goal, too, since 2021. Yeah. What did you see from that goal there, and how big was it just to see that reception for Sammy Blais back here at Enterprise Center?
Yeah, it's every now and then. It's not bad when you come out of the penalty box and the other team forgets that you were coming out of the penalty box, and he's standing like just waving flags down at the other end. A great pass from Nick Leddy. Goes in on a breakaway, fakes forehand backhand, and then goes over the pad of Vejmelka with that shot. Neat moment for him, because Sammy gets traded to the New York Rangers, and they wanted more physicality there, and he delivered it. But unfortunately, he got hurt, and he suffered a knee injury that had him dealing with a torn ACL, a torn MCL, dealing with meniscus tear as well. Took a while to come back. Now, he was skating last May, and getting back at it, so he had a relatively good offseason, but then he still hadn't really battled and tested, and those injuries take a while. So he goes in, they put him on a top line for one game, and then they moved him to the fourth line, and by the time it was all said and done, they had him in and out of the lineup. They scratched him 6 times in the last 13, 14 games, and he hadn't scored. So in 54 games total played with the New York Rangers, unfortunately because of that injury, and he was foot slewed there by PK Subban that caused the injury, he hadn't scored a goal. So for him to come back, get that lease on life, his number 9 was taken, so he chose 79 because at least it had a 9 in it. That's what he said. And to get that big goal and tie it up I think had to feel fantastic. He enjoyed playing here. He likes playing here. And he's another guy. He's an unrestricted free agent at the end of the year. So a strong final 30 games for him can really be a big thing, or who even knows, maybe somebody wants a little physicality going into a playoff run. So, it's important for him to take advantage of opportunities like he had tonight. And then Craig Berube gave it to him, put him on one of the power play units. Thought he made some really nice, safe, smart plays, that kept, I think, some power play chances there. So I thought all around a really, really good game for him.
We also have to talk about, obviously, the big news of this week, the Blues trading Vladimir Tarasenko and Nico Mikkola that brought in Sammy Blais. What did you think of that trade, and how hard is it to see number 91 go after everything he's done here in St. Louis?
Well, I don't think it's very hard to see him gone. He asked for the trade, and that's something that I don't think you forget. Now, when I say that, I don't say that with a good riddance approach. I say that I think I'm happy for both the Blues and Vladdy that it got done. His no-trade clause allowed him to pick and have a say in where he wanted to go. That really, handcuffed Doug Armstrong to some degree, and it took some time. But, a good opportunity for him in New York. He'll get to play with his good buddy, Artemi Panarin. He scored the goal in that first game, and then Panarin went off in the second game. I think Panarin had a 4-goal game in the second game, and I don't know if Vladdy had any points in that one. But, it was time. I think he gave the Blues 11 good years. I think the Blues gave him, and Blues fans here gave him just as much thrill as he gave the fans. And I think it was just time for the two teams to go their own ways and go that way. So it opens up ice time. It frees up opportunity for some other guys. You'll see Pavel Buchnevich probably get some more ice time. A guy like Braden Shen, will get a little more ice time again. And we saw he had a really good night against the Coyotes in the end, statistically as well, with a couple of helpers. So I think it's a great move. And in the end, I guess you can kind of break it down over 2 trades. And I guess it's like trading Tarasenko and Nico Mikkola, both who are going to be unrestricted free agents at the end of the year, for Pavel Buchnevich, a first-round pick, and a third-round pick. That'll be a third-round pick if the Rangers make the playoffs. So I think that's actually a pretty doggone fair trade the way that all worked out. I mean, Buchnevich had another couple points tonight, and point-a-game guy since coming to the Blues. And I think it was time for both sides of that situation to fix itself, figure it out, and make the move. And I'm glad for both that it got done.
Well, and just last question for you, bouncing off of that, what do you want to see from this group moving forward now? A few games at home here, a big chance for them to get some more points.
Yeah, I think you want to see the second period. The second periods have been difficult for the team this year, but they had a really good second period. The second period and the start to the third, really, you want to see compete. You want to see drive. You want to see them win puck battles. You want to see the hits like Nathan Walker, threw out there today, like Ivan Barbashev did. I think that's the big thing. And we know St. Louis Blues fans and what they want. They understand that you're going to have some ebbs and flows, some good years, some bad years. But if you come out every game and you compete for this fan base, they're going to support you and go. So for me, you got 30 games to go. Compete and claw. Those guys have belief that they're going to claw their way back into it, and that's what you want to see. You want to see the fight. You want to see the battle. You want to see the determination, and just see where the chips fall at the end of the next 30 games.
It was great hearing from Curves. Well, before the break, the Blues had a special young reporter take over questions for the day. Let's meet Lucas as he asked the guys some hard-hitting questions.
Hey, my name is Lucas. I'm your Blues junior reporter. Let's see who we can talk to today. When I have time, like not playing hockey, not doing schoolwork, I like to play video games. Do you play a lot of video games?
Yeah, you know what? Always as a kid, I did the same thing. When it was not sports or schoolwork, me and my friends would always hop on and play video games. So, still something I love to do today.
I used to play a lot of video games, and I loved it. But as I had kids, it became very difficult. But it's kind of funny now. I'm on the other end of my kids. My oldest is kind of getting into video games too, so it's kind of exciting for him. But unfortunately, I don't get to play anymore though.
Benner, so what like piece of equipment is like your most particular or that you like the most?
Well, I'm wearing the glove right now. I'd say it's an important piece. You do a lot with it. You know, you can sit at home on the couch with it, or you can use it in action.
I think a jock is pretty vital for having kids and possibly having more. Who knows? I think it's nice, good protection.
After my open heart surgery, I've been a big fan of Children's Hospital. Is there any like organizations that you're a big fan of?
Yeah. You know, in junior, I had a Bill brother. His name is Owen. He had muscular dystrophy, so you know, he's been a huge advocate for them in raising awareness and helping fundraise for research. So that's always been something that's close to my heart, and I love to support them any chance I can.
The Blues organization, Blues for Kids, I'm a big fan of for sure.
Thank you, Robert.
Thanks, Lucas. Good to see you.
Yeah. Have a good day. So thank you for your time.
All right, thanks, buddy.
Have a good day.
Job, man.
That's it.
Awesome.
Have a good day.
Thanks a lot. It was a great interview. Good job.